All right. Hello, everybody. Kaylin, Castell, and I are here, and I think we're like bursting at the seams because we are so excited. We're so excited about this video, but much more importantly, what we're going to be talking about in this video is a free summit that we are hosting in March of 2025. And in this video, we're going to talk about why we're so excited about this, what is going on in March of 2025 that's so key and important to, this year and even beyond this year. And yeah, so whether or not you join us for this free summit, this video I think is going to be, I'm really excited even for this video because there's so much going on in early 2025, and it's really like what we're realizing is we both feel like I think it's like a portal it's like a portal coming in March. We can jump in and just go into this collective decision to change our world, essentially, right?
I just
And
quantum leap. We're going to
what?
make a quantum leap.
Yes, 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 yes. And that's the whole point of the summit. And so in this video, we're going to talk about more about what is this quantum leap pop opportunity for any and all of us, and also then what are we going to be doing in the summit and how are we going to be supporting that? So yay.
Yay, so exciting. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited to do this with you, Martha.
Me
Uh,
too.
there are almost no words for how amazing, how this is something that has never happened before. I mean, I've been looking at astrology for 35 years now. Like, and I've never seen anything like this. It's just
Hmm.
amazing. So, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, so tell us what
Okay,
what.
okay. So first of all, something to know is Martha and I both have a birthday in March, and part of because we both are Pisces Sun and Aries Venus, so we were starting to notice all this Pisces Aries energy that was going on. Neptune moving into Aries, back into Pisces, Saturn moving into Aries, back into Pisces, Venus cycle going retrograde in Aries, going back into Pisces, and starting a new cycle. Mercury starting in Aries, going back into Pisces, starting a new cycle, going back into Aries. It's like this whole Aries Pisces dance. And of course, March equinox just so happens to be the time when the sun shifts from Pisces to Aries at the equinox.
And not to mention the nodes now are in Pisces and Virgo, so all the eclipses in March are going to be right. Yeah, Pisces, Aries energy. Yeah. Hmm.
Right. Well, yeah, exactly. And so we have eclipses that are, so we were noticing all these things that were going on and we were just like, whoa. And I think Martha, you were the one that was like, we should do something.
Well, yeah, I mean, actually, yeah, just to give people the background, I think the way this happened was starting maybe more than a year ago. I just got this feeling in my praying that there's some way in which we're supposed to come together as a collective, and it felt like you and I were supposed to do something, and I didn't quite know what, but in early 2025 there was something really important happening, and that you and I needed to hold space collectively with, with lots of other amazing people too, and I couldn't pinpoint what that was. But as we started talking and just getting together and just feeling into, okay, what's going on in early 2025, then we started noticing, wait a minute, there's all this Aries, Pisces stuff going on, which again, like you said, you and I basically embody that combination, both of us. Um, uh, yeah, and then we on one of our sort of just brainstorming, kind of feeling into it moments together, we said, well, okay, what happens when you combine the Pisces and Aries glyphs? So I got on Canva and I just literally did it for us, right? And then we went, it's a heart. And then you were like, wait, it's a superconductor of love. And then we went, that's it. That's what we're being asked to do in March, right, of 2025, is this summit, which is really all about holding space for the opportunity and this portal, this really powerful portal that we all have the opportunity to be a part of, um, to choose to be the ultimate expression of this Pisces Aries dance, which for you and me feels like being the superconductors of love. And, from that place, really, really changing our planet for real, like for real, for real.
Real, absolutely. And part of my background is that I learned about superconductive fields when I was involved with transcendental meditation in my college days, and how the whole idea of people meditating and coming together would change the collective energy of the field around it. And they did experiments in Washington, D.C. that proved that the crime rates would go down, the accident rates would go down, the hospitalizations would go down when they had a bunch of people coming together to meditate. So we don't have to meditate, although it can be cool to do that. But well, I'm not saying that. But when we come together with a shared intention, we exponentially increase that power. And so if we are coming together with the intention of being superconductors of love to change the planet into a planet that is operating from love and not from fear, which is what has been the primary program for eons of time. It's like you can control people with fear, but not with love. How are you going to control them with love? So if we can come into that heart space, and I love that that glyph does create a heart. It's so good. Those combined glyphs. And that, if you think about Pisces, universal love, and you think about Aries, it's like, how am I going to protect and support the expression of love? I'm going to take the action that's going to help that be viable in the world. That can actually be something that comes, because we have to take action. We can have the intention, but if we don't take the action, and the Aries is there to say, I'm all in for that.
Absolutely.
And Aries literally will defend and protect what it loves.
Mhm.
So it's about the love too. It's just maybe a little bit different focus. It's like the fierce mama bear, energy of like, I'm going to defend and protect the earth, Mother Gaia, or whatever it is. And if so, but also it doesn't have to be about defending and protecting. It can just be about taking the inspired action necessary and needed for us to create this field of energy that changes the planet. And that's our opportunity. And that's what we're so excited about.
Exactly. Yeah, and maybe we can give even a little more context, um, again, for this moment in time we're in. So we're recording this in January of 2025, and so we're heading toward this time of March, right? But beyond that, I think even one level bigger than that context is that in 2025, uh, Saturn and Neptune are both going to enter Aries for the first time, but then they're going to go back into Pisces, and then they will re-enter Aries in early 2026. And then in 2025, they're never actually going to fully meet. But on February 20th, 2026, they will finally conjunct at 0 degrees of Aries, which is a kind of important place. But the literal first degree of the entire zodiac, right? So I think, do you want to say a little more about that bigger context from your
Well,
perspective?
so think about Neptune has a 165-year cycle, so it's been 165 years since it entered Aries and was be at the 0 Aries mark. The spring equinox or March equinox, because it's the opposite season in the southern hemisphere, but the equinox point. And equinoxes are powerful. That's a whole other story, but that point is a powerful point. So anytime a planet is passing that point, it draws our attention like, oh, this is something big going on. Pisces tends to be the end of the signs, and Aries tends to be the beginning of the signs. And one of our speakers spoke into this, talking about how a lot of times people like to start at the solstice, but that's midnight if we're looking at the day, and most people start the day at sunrise, and so the equinox represents the sunrise of the year, the season that's about sunrise of the year. And so that 0 Aries point becomes even more significant as a result, that we begin things there. That's where things begin. And then the Pisces energy is where perhaps things are ending, but it's in that fullness of the divine, source energy, pure love, pure source energy, where anything and everything is possible. And then what do you begin from there?
Mhm. Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
Yeah.
Right. And when you think of, lots of astrologers are talking about this Saturn Neptune conjunction coming in early 2026. as a very, very big deal, right? And so for you, what is that, even just that, what is that energy for you? Saturn and Neptune coming together, and then specifically at that 0 degree
So
Aries
if we
point.
think of Neptune as more celestial, it's like it's expansive, it's a field of all possibilities, there's no limits, it's just anything and everything is possible. And then we think of Saturn as about structure and form. Now, if we just lived in the Neptune zone, we wouldn't have the reality that we live in. We need a physical body, we need a physical experience, we need the earth to have the experience we're having. And so when Saturn and Neptune come together, there's this connection to all these possibilities. And then Saturn says, and now how do we bring that into form? How do we construct and craft a new world that's based in love, that's based in pure energy, that's based in kindness and caring and compassion and heart energy? How do we create that? That's our opportunity. And not everybody's necessarily going to see that and or even want to engage with that, and that's fine. But if there's enough of us that do, we will change everything. We'll change the whole vibrational field of the earth. And I think this is our opportunity. I feel like I've been waiting for this my whole life.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. And I feel like for me, more and more and more, one of the components of creating this new world seems to be literally about creating these communities, right? And these co-creative, consciously co-creative um, communities where we choose. There's all your C words. Kaylin Castell. CCC. No, no, but seriously,
Cosmic,
right?
cosmic community.
Cosmic community. Yeah, right. It's like it's so easy, I would say, to have very beautiful ideals, right? Like a Neptunian, oh, my dream world would be like this. Okay, that's great, and that's a really beautiful place to start. But this feels like maybe we've been having these ideals. Well, here's how we would like our world to be. But when we are able to make a decision, Aries, like make a choice, like, no, this is my yes, this is my sacred yes, and that's my sacred no, but this is my sacred yes, right? And we choose to step into that decision together as a collective. That is feeling more and more and more like part of how we have to create this world together, because we can't do it together unless we're doing it together. It's like a little bit.
Right. And we've been in a culture that has tried to separate us and keep us from doing things together because they know the power of when we come together, then that can't be stopped. So that's our opportunity. And if we choose to engage that, if we choose to step into that, which is what Aries is all about, it's like, I need a mission, I need a purpose, and I need to take action.
Yeah,
And it needs to be inspired action, not just, like go mow the lawn or something, but
yeah, yeah.
but to take some kind of action that's going to further that mission, further that cause, further that sense of what it is that we're here to do. I mean, we're all here because we chose to be here at this time, to be the change agents, to be the transition team, to be the ones that are uh, visioning this new world and then enacting it, which is
Yeah,
Pisces.
yeah,
And also
exactly.
Neptune, Saturn. It's like,
Right.
yeah.
Exactly. And in there, again, another, not to reiterate this thing over and over again, but it really does feel like when I think about what have our community spaces, opportunities for community space been like? I mean, they certainly have always existed, but I don't personally have a whole lot of experience where I feel like is powerful, solid opportunity for community that is based, that is coming from the heart, right? That is coming from this true intention of love and action through love. Like, mm, I can't think of personally in my life other spaces like that, which is part of what this summit is going to be, already is. I mean, there's, going to be community space to be doing this together. Um, and and I don't, and I'm feeling more and more how I don't want to underestimate how crucial that way of coming together from this intention of true love is. Um, and how, you know, that's just such a crucial component of how we actually create the structures, the literal structures that will move our world in the direction we want to go.
Yeah. And I think I appreciate what you're saying, because I think to have a big community,
Yes.
it's not something that's happened. We've had maybe small communities. I've been in small communities that were structured in that, although people would get triggered and their stuff would come up and then you had to deal with it. But I get it
Human.
now.
We're human.
But to have a big community, a global community, online community that is focusing attention on this
Yeah.
intention of being superconductors of love at this time, moving through this portal and working with the energies, you know, as above, so below, as below, so above, in the accomplishment of the miracle of one thing. And as we are coming together, and we're informing the mysteries. We're being informed by, we know there's all these astrological things happening, cosmic things happening in the world and over the next few years, but especially 2025 and 2026. We know that. And we can work with it because it gives us the insight, and it's basically already informed us, me and Martha, that we need to do this. We need to make this happen, and that we can invite other people to join with us in creating this possibility. And so if you feel inspired, if you feel aligned, if you feel like you want to be part of a bigger community that's really energizing the power of love to change the world, we would love for you to join us.
Yes.
And there
Exactly.
will be a private community, as you were speaking a little bit into a private community that people can join. So it's not on Facebook.
Mhm. Yeah. It's just for this summit, and, you know, for us, and yeah. Um, and should we talk a little bit about just how the summit is going to work?
Sure.
'Cause I think it's pretty special. I think it's pretty unusual. I think it's going to be literal magic and medicine. Um, yeah, so I can start and then you jump in if I'm forgetting something. But so the way this is going to work logistically is, again, it's totally free. If you feel called to give a donation, we have that option, but this is truly, truly, truly free. The whole thing will be available indefinitely for free. We're not asking for VIP upgrades or anything like that. Um, so we're going to start on March 9th, 2025. We're going to have a total of 3 live and recorded gatherings. Starting on March 9th, we'll have an opening ceremony together led by me and Kaylin. And that will open this summit. And then we're going to have just, I think it's 11 speakers, or 10 or 11, one per day, only one per day. But again, they're all available indefinitely. So part of our intention is that when we have the opening ceremony, the entire summit is really meant to be a sacred holding space for this portal, for us to collectively choose to step into the portal of changing our world, like literally for real. Really, really, really.
And I think that the speaker topics for the days, we're going to do our best to make sure that they align with what's happening that day,
Yeah.
so that it'd be a good day to listen to it, because you get the download, you get the information, you get the inspiration and the ideas about how to work with it. But it would still be good information down the road.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And
Because
one
we're
of the things,
seeding, so that we'll want people want to go back and go, what did I see? What where were we
yeah,
seeding that day? That we're seeding these points in this portal. And so, yeah.
right. So the summit itself goes from March 9th to March 30th. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna have the opening ceremony on March 9th. Then we're gonna have 10 days of these talks, one talk per day. And the way we're gonna, like Kaylin is saying, we're gonna place those talks, like I feel like they're divinely meant to be on whatever day they're going to be on, right? So for example, we've already recorded the one with Gary Caton, where he's talking about the Mercury retrograde, and we're going to be his talk will come on the day that Mercury goes retrograde. Right? So each of these talks in and of themselves, in that moment, in that day, I can feel them as a medicine, every single one of them, for the medicine of that day, but also relevant for forever. But it really is meant to be this sacred journey experience from moment to moment each of the days of the summit. This is not a summit about really typical summits are sort of like you're there to learn something and maybe you take some notes and then you're on your way. Sure, you can do that with these things, but I really feel this as a medicine. Every single moment is like a sacred breathing
And
in
in
and out.
fact, one of our speakers is who is got Aries Pisces configuration, a little different than ours, but she's got a strong one. She's going to be sharing about her experience with that and then how soul retrieval, spirit medicine, how we can bring back the parts of ourselves that got disconnected from trauma for whatever reasons that happened to us, and we have all experienced it. And she talks about a little bit about how people can have been in years of therapy and have become aware of their trauma and their challenges, but they haven't been able to change it, or they've
Mhm.
only been able to change it some. But when they do soul retrieval, it changes everything. So this is some powerful tools that will be also offering to the people during this time that we can work with beyond the summit, beyond the actual month of March.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
yeah.
And then again, just to finish up the logistics, then we're going to have our second live event, which will also, all of these things will be recorded, will be on equinox itself, or no, the day before, sorry. It's going to be when the sun is conjunct Neptune at 29:59 or something, Pisces. And then that night the sun goes boop into Aries and we have our equinox time, right? So we're going to have an equinox ceremony that day. And
Or
then,
even the energy of the equinox when it's within, a day, either day on either side. I mean, it's more than just a day. It's
yeah,
you can add a day to either side of the exact equinox, and you're in the equinox energy.
exactly, right. Um, yeah, and the whole summit also sandwiches the two eclipses happening. So we're gonna have a lunar eclipse um in the summit. We'll have equinox in the summit. Then on March 29th is the solar eclipse, and then on March 30th, which is the day that Neptune finally enters Aries, we will have our closing ceremony, right? So this is all on the website. That's probably a little bit confusing, but just to give the sense, what my point is, we're going to be holding the whole thing in a very sacred container with both live, three live events that you can attend on Zoom if you want. But everything will be recorded. All the talks are recorded and available for you on those days, and then indefinitely. Again, with this intention of there's something, I think something beyond what you and I even are aware of yet. There's a reason we're holding it at that time. There's a reason we're doing it this way. We're really being guided in the way we're choreographing the whole thing, and um, yeah, and we're all going to be doing this together. So yes, you
Sacred
were.
ceremonial space for the duration and beyond, but I mean, definitely holding that sacred ceremonial space. And it reminds me of the, indigenous cultures that have hold week-long, month-long, or however long ceremonies that they are engaging every single day. So we're in that sense holding a ceremonial space that you can engage every single day if it works for you, and if you can't, you can come back and get the energy of the that through the recordings, because it lives in the record. It's like it doesn't go away. It's
Yeah,
gonna. So whenever you get a chance to go to be able to take part in whatever was happening, then you'll get the download, you'll get the information, you'll get um, it, the vibrational activation.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. And just to name, uh, to give a sense of who's going to be part of this in terms of the speakers, it includes you, me, Sheridan Semple, Heather Ensworth, Melanie Reinhart, Keone Hanalei, Ari Moshe Wolfe, Gary Caton, Jaime Goldstein, a
Lauren
total of,
Jubiler, Lauren Jubiler,
yes.
and
Um,
that
uh,
might.
there's one anyway, there's a total of what 12, 11, 12 of us, and all just amazing beings, and they're all listed on our sign up page. Yeah, and
Yeah.
Yeah, what else to say?
It is already, I mean, we're already feeling it. We're already experiencing the high magic, and we're going to keep tuning into that as we move to the March 9th activation of this whole thing. But if you're listening to this now, you're already receiving the
Yeah.
activation of this energy that we've been energizing for a few months now.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm feeling it so strongly. And I think, yeah, I think the last thing I want to say, in case it's not already obvious, is that Kaylin and I are again, we're being guided, right? So I think part of what the Pisces Aries energy is really good at, and that I think we're both really pretty good at, is attuning to every single moment. And so I think that's our intention, is to, that's my approach with this, is to really be, it's like we have antenna almost, and we're just tuning in moment by moment. Okay, what is it we're being called to do and why? And okay, we're going to fine tune it like this. And we're conduits. I mean, that's what all of us are, right? We're conduits of the divine in opportunity here, the divine calling here. And so we're not coming at any of this with our own agenda. This is us being agents of the divine, of Gaia, of the cosmos, and really holding space for every single one of us to come into fine-tunement with that, and then to step into this together, right?
Yes, yes, and together we'll we'll create some major shifts in how we experience the collective reality. I mean,
Exactly.
well, I already experienced shifts in my personal reality, honestly, a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
and I sometimes see it in the greater collective, but I think this is going to be a pivotal point for that, and that we're holding, that's our intention. That's what we're holding the intention for. So,
Right.
yeah. Yeah,
Exactly.
hope you feel excited as we do and you want to join us.
Exactly. And we can't, in a sense, we can't do it without you, right? It's like we need to all be doing this all together. So here we
Yeah.
go.
So here we go. So hopefully we'll be connecting with you come March, and be sure to share this with anybody that you feel might feel aligned with what we're speaking into. And we'll look forward to seeing you in March.
Yep. See the link in the show
Oh yeah,
notes.
in the show notes.
Yeah.
You can sign up, the link to sign up within the show notes. Yeah. Always an important thing to say.
Yeah. Yay. See you all very
Love doing
soon.
this with you, Martha. This is so, so, so good.
So good.
Yeah.
Yay.
Bye, everyone.